Hello everyone and welcome to the Chrissy B Show, the UK's only TV programme that's dedicated to your mental health and well-being. Well, today we'll be featuring some guests discussing the weighty subject of purpose and legacy in many different ways. We'll also be sharing a wonderful video from the Mental Health channel about how one woman made an amazing contribution to her community and is leaving behind a legacy for generations to come. We'll also be talking to Chelsey Baker and her take on purpose and legacy in the world of business and mentoring. As always, our resident Dr. Rob Hicks will be answering your medical questions, and I'll be giving you 3 ways to leave behind a great legacy. But first, we have our regular iridologist Ronald Delary Simpson on the show to talk about the best fruits for achieving wellness. Let's go and see him now. Hi Ronald, how are you?
Always pleased to be here.
Nice to have you back on. Good.
Good.
All right, so what are we speaking about today?
We're going to be speaking about fruits and what they mean to you.
Okay.
As healthy human beings.
Well, I'm definitely a fan.
Yes, correct. So what we're going to do is, what I'd like to do is explain, this is very important to understand it. See what happens, you've got 11 body systems, and one of the most important ones is the immune system, right? And the tonsils, that's your front line. It's like your infantry when you're in battle, right? That's your front line. So there's no doubt about it, 50, 60 years of work and more, vegetables are your front line. So vegetables like kale, broccoli, beans, tomatoes, that's your front line. So if you want a really good immune system, you hit the vegetables. Okay. But you remember that's your front line. Now, that's what I discovered. If you want really good skin, eat fruit. Okay. Right? For some reason, and I think I know why, when you eat fruit, it creates enormously good amount of vitamin C, what I call phagocytes, which are your immune system build up. It also creates a lot of vitamin C too with bioflavonoids. It's like you eating a lemon, the juice, and then you've got the bioflavonoids in the skin. So today we're gonna show you a slide, and basically everybody should have a plate like that on their plate, on their table, right? You know what this one is? That's a 5-star fruit.
Yes, I've seen that.
5-star fruit, pineapple. This is like a soursop custard apple. Now, in this picture there, for example, grapes, right, with the seeds in, black grapes like that, kiwi fruit, you know, you've got your lemon and all that, pineapple, and there's mango, right? That combination, if you have mango and pineapple, and with sea salt and a bit of chili, absolutely incredibly delicious. Plus you've got the digestive system improving to the bromelain, which is a papaya enzyme, which is a pineapple enzyme. So when you combine those two together, your skin improves like that. Wow. You see that? So, and the beauty about it is that you have good skin at 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70,
just carries
80,
on.
Carries on. I've seen people that have eaten fruit all their life, at 100, they look about 60. Yeah. Amazing, right? So what we're going to do, we're going to show you some specific fruits that are probably more powerful than others. So we're going to show the next slide. Okay, now, these are blueberries. Yeah. Okay. These are raspberries. Okay, and this is strawberries, right? Now, I have cured many people's eye problems with half a pint of the blueberries every day. They've had eye problems, significant eye problems. And I said, look, just get a pint of the blueberries, take half of it, wash it thoroughly. Every day you'd eat about probably 50 of those. Yeah. Every day. See, what in that blue colour is a massive amount of zeaxanthin, which is a blue colour. That's what's so good for your eyes. Yeah. That builds the macula in the back of your eyes. Now, you see that colour like that? Now, when you see a black colour like that in berries, and then you see the blue, that is one of the most powerful combinations for your eyes. Okay. You know, and people, you know, I've been working with eyes for a long time, as you know, right? So people just don't appreciate how valuable their eyes are until they start wearing glasses, contact lenses, and do laser work or whatever, right? If they eat just, you know, like that would cost you probably about £1 a day if that, right? What's the worth of your eyes? So £1 a day, like in a month of £30, but you don't wear glasses.
So worth it, yeah.
And the other ones, of course, in the summer, is strawberries, right? Now, if you look at a strawberry, right, like that, can you see all these little yellow dots like that?
Yeah.
Well, these are all antioxidants.
Oh.
Right?
Okay.
And the British strawberries, I must say, are very, very good, right? So we grow it at home. Now, if you grow it organically, when you cut the strawberry, it is solid. Mm-hmm. But if it's grown without organic food, you will see there will be holes in it. That's how you know whether they're good quality or not, right? So now the other thing we'll show you. So berries and blackberries are really powerful. Now, I know in this picture we've got Granny Smith. Mm-hmm. I'm not a big fan of Granny Smith when it comes to, they're okay, but basically you need to cook them.
Okay.
But what I'm a big fan of is the red apples, okay, right? And I think I made a comment one time is that, you know, when you do red apples, some people say, oh, I just want to eat pink ladies. Big mistake. You need to have Cox, Fuji, Gala, right? Pink lady, red delicious.
Combination.
Yes. What I discovered was that every different red apple has got different solid antioxidants. Mm. So if you persist on eating pink ladies, you'll get some health out of it, but you are missing out on all the other type of antioxidants. Okay. Apples are incredibly good for you. One of the main components of apples, pectin. So if you've got a lot of residuous food, mm-hmm, the pectin breaks it down. It creates enzymes, it breaks it down, so then the food digests better, and that's the key. Once you get the food in, you've got to digest it and get it out. Mm-hmm. It either stays here, your skin suffers. Okay. Make sense? Yeah. Yes. Now back to the grapes. Now with the grapes, there's this fad that's been going on which is so silly. The people are now asking for sort of grapes without seeds, right? Seedless. In other words, they've hybridized the grapes. Mm. Worst thing that could happen because the antioxidants are in the seeds.
So you're saying you should eat the seeds?
Should eat the seeds.
Really?
Should crush the seeds with your back teeth.
Oh, okay.
Because in the seeds, there's a product which is called proflavanol and resveratrol. Mm-hmm. And in that seed, that's the life for the grapes. Okay. Now you take the seeds out of it.
Taking the life out of it.
You're taking life out of it. You see?
But do you have to chew it though? Because sometimes it's a little bit bitter.
Well, put it this way: if you've got something like a NutriBullet, and you can put the grapes with a seed in it, okay, and an apple or whatever, and it's fine. It's okay. Yeah, okay. But so I'm working hard now to recommend people eat seeds. Okay. Seeds in the grapes. Right. Because that is where the power is in the seed. Mm-hmm. Now, when red wine is made by the French, they put the seeds in. And that's why their wine's so good. Oh, okay. The Australians are the same. They put seed. This nonsense about seedless, it's just crazy. Absolutely crazy. You've got to have seeds, okay, right? Especially in grapes, you know. So, okay, next one. With the kiwi fruit, that is one of the best, most value for money fruit you can have. See all that greenery there? Mm-hmm. See all of that? And you see all that black stuff?
Seeds, yeah.
Black seeds. When you peel this off, you've got to peel it off, it's rough, right? When you peel it off, this contains about 4 to 5 times more vitamin C than 3 oranges.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, amazing, isn't it? Mm-hmm. So that is, I'll recommend at least 3, they're really good price, 3 to 4 kiwi fruit a day. Fantastic. Amazing. Now, just to finish off, I want to just show something. The olives, right, is a fruit. It's considered a fruit, right? Mm-hmm. Now, that's one from our garden, right? Now, very briefly, because of time, what happened is that when you get a proper olive tree organically grown, you get a phenomenal substance called polyphenol. Polyphenols are so incredibly good for you. That's why the Mediterranean diet is so important. Mm-hmm. They have huge amount of olives, huge amount of olive oil, right? And as a result, cancer's low, heart attacks almost non-existent where they eat properly. Yeah. Yeah. This is a very powerful plant. You know, that's mentioned in the Bible so many times. Yeah. And the olives oil does help tremendously with the skin. So if you combine olive oil and fruits,
winning combination.
Winning combination. Yeah.
Ronald, thank you so much, and we'll see you again soon in the studio. Thank you.
Will do. Take care. Yeah.
All right, everybody. With Christmas just around the corner, we all want to look our best at the work Christmas do's, and to show us how it's done, here's makeup artist Sani Sorma with her top festive tips. Welcome to the show, Sani.
It's great to be back. Thank you.
So we're talking about office to Christmas party today.
Yes, I mean, it is the season for Christmas parties, and obviously a lot of people don't have the luxury of trekking all the way home, getting changed, getting ready in like a relaxed, nice atmosphere with a glass of wine. Most of the time it's going to be in the office toilet in 5 minutes. So we'll try and kind of simulate that scenario here.
Okay.
Now the first thing you're going to want to do is touch up your makeup. Now if you've put on foundation and powder in the morning, the powder will be gone, so it'll be absolutely fine to kind of touch it up. So if you bring your foundation with you, maybe a little bit of concealer, and just very, very lightly put a little bit on your hand and just really, really lightly touch up where you need to touch up. It's completely fine putting like foundation.
So don't try and reapply the whole thing? Okay.
No, you probably will just kind of need it mostly in the center of the face, if you have blemishes, kind of on top of that, and then set it. Now, the second bit is my favorite bit, which is adding sparkle to the eyes. So this is one of my all-time favorite things in the world. This is called Holidium powder. I have no idea how to pronounce this. And it is very, very sparkly. So whatever eye makeup you're wearing, the quickest way, instead of kind of like going for intricate liner or trying to do a smoky eye, is to take some glitter. I'm going to wet my brush and then dip it in here. When you wet the brush first, you kind of guarantee that the glitter is not going to be all over your face. So if you close your eyes for me, and I am just going to gently press it on, the water will evaporate really, really quickly, and your kind of makeup look will be totally different. I hope the glitter, like the beauty of this stuff, will come across on camera, because it really does kind of change. And turn this way a little bit. Oh yeah, party ready. Another and look up for me for 1 second, and I just like to add a little tiny bit in the corner of your eye as well. Oh, beautiful. Oh, I really like that on you.
Okay, I'll have a look later and see if I like it. Okay.
Now, we're not going to do this because I know that you don't like fake lashes very much, but a really good trick is to put on some fake lashes. It does open up your eyes. Practice beforehand, because that's not going to fit into the 5 minutes if you've never done it before. Practice beforehand, but fake lashes do kind of like, they open up your eyes, they make it look more dramatic, and you're not going to, your mascara is going to be a little bit clumpy and a little bit all over the place by that point. So if you start reapplying mascara on top of mascara, it's just going to look a lot worse. So fake lashes for me, I'm wearing some today, are always like the party thing. Now, this we've done so many times with you before, but I brought in a slightly different product because you don't need to use a brush with this. This is a highlighter, but it's kind of like in a really kind of, I guess this is like a giant's lipstick, I guess. And it is super easy to use. You don't need a separate brush. I'm just gonna put some on the top of your cheek, and you just very lightly dab it. And let's do the other side as well, so you don't look lopsided. And it's the quickest and the easiest kind of highlight you'll ever do. Tiny bit on the bridge of the nose, just to bring out that. And you don't need a brush, you don't need anything, you just like very lightly dab it. Since you're wearing lip gloss, I'm not going to do your Cupid's bow, but Cupid's bow is also like a really nice thing to highlight. And then last but not least is, so you're wearing kind of like a daytime lip gloss, either going brighter or deeper with your lipstick works. Now with you, because you're wearing a darker color today, I would probably go brighter with the lipstick. So I would do like a very like fuchsia pink or magenta, something like that. Or we could even go, one of your favorite things is a super orange.
Yes, I like that one.
You love those.
I do.
Because you're kind of wearing like a brighter eye, and we'll do a brighter lip as well. Or if you're not a bright lip kind of girl, you could go deep berries, like raisins, something like that. Just a color that will come out in the evening lighting. Then you should be ready to party.
Brilliant. Sandy, thank you so much.
That was fun.
And we shall see you again next time.
Yes.
Thank you. Now don't go away, guys, because after the break we'll be talking with Chelsey Baker about her take on how people can find their purpose and leave a legacy. We'll also be sharing a video from the Mental Health channel telling the story of how one woman left her mark on her community in a very positive way. As always, Dr. Rob Hicks will be answering your medical questions such as this one. Can motion cause strange smells? I've never heard of anyone else having this problem, but ever since I was a kid, I perceive strange smells when I lean over. Recently, it seems like the odours have been getting worse. Well, let's see what Rob has to say after this break. Welcome back to today's Chrissy B Show, everyone. So we've got an exploration of what purpose and legacy means to our selection of guests coming up, but now let's have a chat with Dr. Rob Hicks and see if we can answer some of those medical questions. Hello, Rob.
Hi, Chris. I like that. See if we can. There's a little bit of pressure there.
We will, I'm sure we will. Okay, so we go straight to the first one that we read before the break. And this person's asking, quite an unusual question, I think, can motion cause strange smells? I've never heard of anyone else having this problem, but ever since I was a kid, I perceive strange smells when I lean over. Recently, it seems like the odours have been getting worse. Help?
That is
Have you ever heard that before?
No, is the answer. That's an unusual symptom to have.
Yeah.
There are, you've had it for a long time, and there are a number of things that can cause this in the short term. So people who have sinus infections, or they get the cold or the flu, often find that they smell odd things. Less common reasons for this sort of problem are related to epilepsy, for example, head injury. For some people, it's related to mental health conditions like depression, where they will actually smell things which are not really there. There's a condition called phantosmia, which is smelling things which is not actually there. And for the majority of people, these sort of things last a number of weeks or months, and then they disappear. They're harmless, but they disappear. But this viewer has said that they've been there for a long time.
Yeah.
So the sort of thing that, obviously this needs a checkup to find out what might be going on. But one of the things we occasionally come across is children like to stick things up their nose. So it might be a pea or a piece of sweet corn, or even a plastic toy. Now, if this is a very long shot, but if that had happened in childhood,
Oh my God, it's still there.
and it's still, the pea won't be there, or the sweet corn won't be there, but a bit of plastic might be, or something, then it could be that it's just generating this sort of mucus, which then when the person moves, they smell it. Now I'm reaching a little bit here, because really what you need to do is to have a checkup with your doctor to discuss your symptoms, particularly if you've got other symptoms as well, and particularly if you're not feeling well because of this. But it's important that an ear, nose and throat specialist, for example, will have a look up the nose to make sure there's not something like what's called a nasal polyp, which is a little innocent, non-cancerous growth in the nose, and you can get these odd smells related to that as well. So a checkup's what's in order. Don't be embarrassed about this symptom, just get it checked out.
Yeah, especially now because they're saying it's getting worse.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. All right, thank you, Rob. Next question. How do you know if a burn is serious enough to go to A&E?
Oh, okay. The things to think about, if the burn is caused by, if it's an electrical burn or a chemical burn, you must go to A&E. If the burn is larger than the size of your hand, you should go to A&E. If the skin is white or charred, definitely go to A&E. And if the burn is on the face, the hand, the arm, the foot, the leg or the genital region, and is blistering, you should also go to A&E. And the caveat is, if you're at all concerned about a burn, then seek some medical advice.
Yep. Okay, brilliant. Next question, Rob. Is there a cure for cold sores?
Simple answer, no.
Ooh.
However, we don't like to leave it as a no, there's nothing.
Because this is a positive TV show.
This is a positive show, yeah.
Yes.
So the cold sores are caused by one of the herpes viruses, which most of us pick up, in childhood. And when the virus sort of reactivates, it causes a cold sore around the mouth, usually just on the lip. So you can't cure it, but you can treat it, and you can try and prevent them from coming back. So when you feel what's called the telltale tingle around this area, and the cold sore will usually come back in the same place time after time, then if you use an antiviral medication, tablets or a cream or a gel, then that can shorten the duration of the attack and indeed lessen the symptoms. from a prevention point of view, keep yourself as stress-free as possible, don't smoke, and keep yourself away from UV sunlight, because these are the sort of things that may well trigger flare-ups. And some people use lemon balm, it's also known as Melissa herb, in a tincture, and they apply it on a daily basis to try and keep things at bay. And for some people that works as well. You can get it as a cream too.
Okay, I was actually going to ask you how they appear, because I don't think I've ever had one, and I thought maybe you catch them from.
You do. I mean, basically they're passed on through a kiss essentially. It doesn't have to be an adult kiss. It can be a relative who gives the young child a hug and a kiss, and they might just happen to pass
sloppy kisses.
The virus kisses over. But many people don't ever get the cold sores.
Yeah.
So the majority of us will have the virus. It lives in the body, it sits there in the nerves, and when it's reactivated, it comes out and it causes the sore.
But I know people that have them quite frequently as well. It's like they get one and it's like...
And women often get them before a period, for example. Their bodies run down and out they come. So, you keep yourself healthy, keep yourself as stress-free as possible. You avoid triggers like smoking and UV radiation, UV, sunlight. And so the cold sore thing is a bit of a misnomer, really.
Yeah, okay. All right, interesting. So next question. I'm allergic to cranberry juice. Are there any other ways of clearing a UTI?
Yes, well, a UTI is a urinary tract infection, so it's like cystitis. Yeah. The ways to clear it, generally speaking, is the doctor will prescribe a short course of antibiotics. He or she will advise you to drink lots of fluid to flush the system through, and you use painkillers. Often it can be uncomfortable. In the UK, the current feeling is that cranberry juice. There isn't strong evidence to say that it will certainly not treat an infection. Some people take it on a daily basis. They drink it, or they take capsules of cranberry extract to try and prevent urinary tract infections, particularly people who get them recurrently. But again, the scientific research isn't strong behind that. So in a way, if you're allergic, you're kind of not missing out, because if you get symptoms, seek the medical advice, and if necessary, you'll be given a course of antibiotics.
Great. Next question, Rob. Is it possible to have flu for 3 weeks? I've been feeling very unwell for a while now, and I'm wondering if it's just a common flu.
It's unusual, because the symptoms of the flu are normally gone round about after a week. Yeah. Yes. What is possible is that people feel very fatigued.
Maybe if they haven't rested
tired
as well.
afterwards. Yeah, if they try to keep going.
Yeah.
So those symptoms could keep going, but I'd be a little bit concerned about the feeling unwell for 3 weeks, that it isn't related to common flu, that it might be due to something else, and I would urge you then to get checked out, particularly if you've been abroad and you've got fevers and things like that, because it may be that you've picked up a tropical infection that needs specific treatment.
Okay, next question. I'm 20 years old and I want to do calorie restriction. How can I do it safely? I'm going to fitness classes 3 times a week and I'm confused because I need to eat a lot of calories for training. Do I need to count calories that I burn during training?
That's an interesting question, because I presume this viewer is looking to lose weight.
That's what, it's a
if you're restricting calories and you're going to the gym to do more exercise, then the simple way of losing weight, as you know, is that you try and burn off more calories than you take in. Yeah. So you're burning them off by exercising, but you're actually limiting how many you have in the first place. Yeah. I mean, I would say if that's the case, then a general rule of thumb is if you reduce your daily calorie intake by about 500 calories, so for an average woman, that would be reducing from 2,000 to 1,500. For an average man, that would be reducing from about 2,500 to 2,000 calories a day. But the simple answer to the question is, if you find then that you're losing weight and that's what you want to be achieving, then clearly you've got that equation right.
Yeah, simple.
Yeah,
okay, thank you. All right, next question. I'm 37 and female and notice greying around my brown eyes. What could this be? I've always had 20/20 vision.
Okay, well, I think the first thing to think about is go to the optician, get an eye test and get that looked at, or go to your GP, whichever suits your lifestyle better. There is a condition called arcus senilis, which causes this rings around the coloured part of the eye, the iris. And in older people, it's a normal part of ageing and it's of no consequence or worry whatsoever. In young people, it can mean that their blood cholesterol is high. So it's a good idea to, as mentioned, to go and get this checked out. And if you're getting other symptoms related to your eyes, blurred vision, pain, discharge, then don't hang about. Go and get prompt advice. The other thing to think about is actually this could be perfectly normal. It's just a part of a change in your eye, which is of no consequence. But it might not be related to the arcus senilis. It might actually be another medical condition. So, for example, with a condition called Wilson's disease, where the body sort of maintains too much copper, you can get this same sort of change where the copper is being deposited in the eyes as well as other organs in the body. So I think with this sort of thing, get it looked at, and usually it's easy enough for a doctor to say, yeah, that's what the answer is.
Okay, one last question for today, Rob. Do pacemakers pose any health risks? My mother has been told she may need one by the doctors. I want to trust them, of course, but I'm a little concerned.
Oh, that's a fair enough question, and I think there's a simple answer to this. It's like when a doctor offers a person a prescription for medication. We always do so in the hope and belief that the benefits will outweigh any risks, and that's the same with surgery, and that's the same with a pacemaker. Okay. So the reality is that if her mum's been offered a pacemaker, it's because there's a need. So, for example, the heart isn't going, it may be beating too slowly or erratically, or it's not working as it's supposed to be. Because what a pacemaker does is basically a pulse generator with a battery and a couple of wires that go into the heart, and when the heart slows down, it fires off some pulses, some electrical pulses, just to get the heart going at the right level again, so that people don't feel lightheaded and pass out, etc. Incredibly common procedure to be done in the UK. Loads of them are done. Specifically, are there any risks? Yeah, there are. It's a minor surgical procedure, so you might there's a risk of some blood clots, infection. There's a risk of bleeding. There's also a risk with pacemakers that it may malfunction. It may move under the skin. The wires may get detached. The battery may run out. But I would reassure you that they are an incredibly effective piece of technical kit. They do the job very well for many people. And indeed, they do so many that actually it's a hugely common procedure.
Okay, brilliant. Rob, thank you so much. Thanks for helping our viewers out, and we'll see you again next week.
You will.
Thank you. But don't go away, everyone, because after the break, Chelsey Baker will be telling us how she believes people can expand their purpose and build a great legacy. I'm Chrissy B, and my show is all about improving your mental health and being happy. Join me every Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 10 p.m. on my channel Sky 203. Visit chrissybshow.tv for more information and subscribe to our YouTube channel Chrissy B Show. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Chrissy B Show, and on our Facebook page, The Chrissy B Show.
Hey guys, it's me, Natalia Kotowska and Katie Wood with Nat, and I will present you today some great exercises for your core. As we can feel, the Christmas is coming, big steps, so we tend to gain some weight around our belly area. Today I will present you 2 nice exercises that will help you to maintain a good shape. So let's go. First exercise, I call it standing side crunches. We're gonna work mainly on our obliques, but also at the same time we're gonna maintain a good strength in our lower body. So nice wide feet, hands up. We're gonna put the weight on our body on our one leg. Choose whichever you want to start with, right or left, and we're gonna raise our knee up, crunching the side of our obliques, and knee down. We're gonna go up and down. So very important, knee goes high, elbow, touch the knee. However, you try to meet halfway, so like a scissor. You're working like a scissor. You try to squeeze your obliques as tight as much as you can. You go all the way up, down, Now make sure your supporting leg is a little bit bent, so you're strengthening while you're working your abs, your core, you're strengthening your quads, your glutes, your calves, and you go 30 seconds, one side, 1 minute, however you want, how long you want. It's up to you how much you can do. Longer you go, better results you're gonna achieve. Once you're done with one side, We can change to the other side. Now make sure that the leg that you raising up is just tapping the floor. So you go all the way up, down, and you go nice and fast. Have some music, play some Christmas tracks that will motivate you to go faster, harder, go for 1 minute, 2 minutes, as long as you can go. And you can change, you can do 3 sets of 1 minute each side, and I guarantee you that this is gonna make your abs, your obliques burn. Thank you so much for today. Thank you for working with me. It was me, NK Do It With Nat, and I will see you soon.
Thank you very much to Natalia there, and welcome back to the Chrissy B Show. So now is the part of the program I'm really looking forward to, as we're sharing a great video from the Mental Health channel showing how one woman has left an amazing impact on her community. Let's take a look.
I was in the Navy. I was an operations specialist. I thought it was going to be a career, and I got pregnant. The choice was give the baby to someone else and get back on board a ship, or get out of the military, and got out. In late 2010, a number of news stories came out about Oakland being the 5th most dangerous city, and the one that really shocked me was an almost 40% dropout rate. And I'm like, nothing's gonna get better until somebody changes it, you know, until somebody does something about it. So I started Acta Non Verba, Youth Urban Farm Project. Acta Non Verba are the words of the Merchant Marines. It means deeds, not words, and that's what we're about. We got some harvesting going on. We've got some planting going on. Our new friend Catherine is over there watering so we can plant fava beans. Those are the ones that grow really, really fast. Yeah. And some weeding. Weeding? Weeding. Weeding. When you pull out the plants.
Pull out the plant to eat the other plant.
That's right. There you go. For me, gardening is magical, you know. It made sense to me that kids would see these things the way that I saw them and be overjoyed.
Look at this.
Good job. That's amazing. The kids plan, plant, harvest, and sell the produce, and 100% of those proceeds are placed into savings accounts for them.
I love eating them.
You love eating them?
Yeah, can I try it right now?
Yeah, you can try it.
Favorite thing is about the farm, I get to taste stuff. I like the strawberries and all the stuff that's here. My favorite thing about the farm is looking at the insects. Some insects are good for the garden and some are not.
What I like about the farm is putting my hand in the dirt because I like to get my hands dirty.
One thing I learned on the farm is don't be rude to the plants because they're alive and they can feel what you're doing to them.
I think that they're learning to respect themselves and respect the land that we're on. These small lessons, these soft skills could blossom in time. 4 years in, so I expect it'll be another 10 years before anybody runs back and says, you know, Miss Kelly, what you said about the fava beans was exactly true. That's why I'm getting my doctorate. You know? Push down hard, and then when you get down to the bottom, that's when you saw it. Yep.
For us that live in this community, there's really not a local grocery store that you can get fresh produce from. So Kelly being right here at the corner is a perfect thing for me.
You're gonna take it home so that your mommies and daddies can know what it tastes like. Yes.
I think it's brought a lot of positivity as far as giving the children and the adults something different.
We made that. That's good.
Earlier this year, Harvard came out with a study that say that children that live in high crime, high violence areas have something called hood disease. It's PTSD, but it's specific for children that live in urban environments like this. And that made me really angry as well. To label those kids with hood disease is akin to thinking that all veterans have PTSD, and if those veterans have PTSD, that they're not hireable, they're not they don't work well. I think that just like having farming and gardening as a therapy for vets, it's similar for kids is that live in these highly volatile areas. Our farm is an actual sanctuary for children that have seen too much and experienced too much. I think there is serenity in working with soil. There are things that I have embarrassment or shame about, and when those memories come up or when I start to feel that way, being able to plant something, I feel cleansed. I feel like I've buried whatever it is that's hurting me, and now that embarrassment or shame is gonna produce the biggest, best collards or, the tastiest strawberries, things that will benefit my family and my community. But it is a lot of work, and it is very stressful to be a farmer and an executive director. But it does make me feel like I definitely have a mission now, and I definitely have a goal.
Thanks very much to the Mental Health Channel for that video, and if you'd like to know more about them, please do head over to our website, chrissybshow.tv, and click on our contributors section. Now don't go away guys, because after the break we'll be talking to business mentor Chelsey Baker about her thoughts on the weighty subjects of purpose and legacy. And I'll be giving you some tips on how to leave behind a great legacy for those close to you. But first, what is the #1 thing people want to be remembered for? Is it A, being compassionate, B, being humorous, or C, being wealthy? Find out after this break. Welcome back to the Chrissy B Show, everyone. So we hope you've enjoyed today's show, as we've been looking into some great legacies that people have been trying to create for themselves. Now, before we go to Chelsey Baker to get her take on purpose and legacy, I asked you before the break, what is the #1 thing people want to be remembered for? Was it A, being compassionate, B, being humorous, or C, being wealthy? Well, I can tell you that the answer is actually B, being humorous. That's right. According to a survey conducted by terminal illness charity Marie Curie, 36% of respondents claim they would most want to be remembered for their sense of humor. This is because they said that their own favorite memories of deceased loved ones was of laughing and joking together. 2/5 of respondents said that they would want to be remembered for their caring spirit. Now, to talk about purpose and legacy is our lovely Chelsey Baker. Welcome back to the show, Chelsey.
Thank you so much for having me, Chrissy. It's great to be here again.
Lovely to have you back on. So you have done so much and left your legacy with you. So can you tell us why it's so important?
I feel really, just backtracking slightly, there was 2 people particularly this week when I was mentoring that, have you ever heard of the Wheel of Life?
No.
So it's a circle. I mean, you can Google it and you'll find all sorts of, beautiful wheels, and it shows the wheel of life in a circle. And you have all these different, segments like a pie, and you've got contribution, you've got finances, you've got family, you've got relationships, you've got work, you've got health, you've got fitness, emotional well-being, all these different kind of spokes or pies. And the 2 people that I spoke to, this week, they are working such long hours, but for what? They're not contributing to society, they're not feeling happy, and they are not liking where they're being, hence they've come to me to sort them out.
Yeah.
But when I looked at their life, they're just working to pay the bills, and that really does lead to rather unsatisfaction and dissatisfaction and just not feeling very fulfilled. So I said, you know, what would you like to see changed in the world? What would you like to do? Ask them that question, and they've got all sorts of passions and things that they'd like to do, but they're not doing it. So I'd ask viewers, you know, to consider, why are you here? Why are you doing what you're doing?
Yeah.
You know, because everybody can set up something on the side. You may be working very long hours, but it takes seconds, if not minutes, to come up with an idea and just do something a little bit and a little often. So both people have now started. One's a homeless project and one's working with domestic violence victims. Both have already, you know, decided what they want to do. So what is your contribution to society and to the world? And I remember myself, I won't say, you know, perhaps what I was doing, but it was very much a corporate life. And I thought, why am I doing this? This doesn't feel right to me. I want to help people. And of course, you know that I've empowered many women and businesses and entrepreneurs, and that feels right to me. So it's got to kind of feel right in your heart. And I think that there's so many wonderful initiatives, you know, that are out there at the moment that people are starting. I've just come back from a beautiful castle in Wales where, you know, real key people who are making a difference in the world were having a gathering. There was an 85-year-old lady there who set up a social initiative to help people, all sorts of wonderful people there. And it doesn't matter what age you are, there's still, you know, something that where everybody can actually participate.
Amazing. I think it is really important, because I had that moment that you're talking about where I was just at work and I'm thinking, it was like an engineering company and I was in charge of the maintenance of the building, and I'm thinking, why am I doing this so bored? I didn't like the job, and I was thinking, I'm not doing anything for anyone. I just gave everything up and went to work for a charity. And I went on a lower salary and I was happier because I was actually doing something that was making a difference.
Absolutely.
And it
Feeling valued.
It makes you happier. It makes you
all these people who are just sitting there typing, answering emails, they're not feeling valued. So really consider perhaps what you think your purpose might be. And I've got some wonderful examples to read out to you. You know, I think also you can think about, is something frustrating you? Is there something unfair that you're finding in the world? Is there a problem that you could be the solution to? And I think people often think that, oh, it's beyond me, it's beneath me, I couldn't possibly do that. But small acts of kindness can lead to big changes.
That's true.
And it's just absolutely remarkable. There's a gentleman here, I'm just going to bring it up on my phone, that I've just seen today. This was out in the newspaper. And he's called Dhruv Borra, and he has literally got a bike, attached all sorts of propellers and devices to it, and he's floating down the river on this bike, picking up plastic bottles. And he's journeyed it. You know, talk about getting people on your side and helping with momentum. Journal what you're doing for others to see and be an inspiration. And he's put, day 4, collected 200 plastic bottles, 50 takeaway, you know, the takeaway dishes. One fender, 50 energy drink cans, 40 beer cans, 1 bike, 1 chicken, 50 snack covers and 1 DVD pulled out of the river. I'll talk about how and why it's so dangerous in a minute. Day 6, 120 plastic bottles, and he's ridden on the bike from Oxford through to Teddington through to Tower Bridge. 1 pack of branded beers, 1 chair, it just goes on and on. 20 balls, 6 footballs, 4 shoes, flip-flops, and 150 bottles on the next day. It's absolutely staggering. And when I was in Silicon Valley, I had the pleasure of meeting Alex and Jack, and they set up a company called the Plastic Pickup. And this was inspired by one day going down to the beach and seeing there was a lot of golf balls in the ocean. They loved the ocean. They saw too many golf balls. And after finding all these golf balls, they set about just picking up 1 at a time. That has now led to over 20,000 golf balls. And what happens with the plastics is it breaks down with UV light and photo degeneration into microplastics that then are the size of a grain of rice. and the fish, the birds, and the marine life are eating the
horrible,
plastic.
isn't it? I've seen
and then
some
it's
things.
ending up in our tummies. So for £28, there's 28 pounds of microplastics for every 1 pound of zooplankton. And it's just incredible because all these golf balls, I've actually seen a degenerated one. It's incredible. It's like spaghetti straw.
Oh.
So all the plastic comes off and releases toxins. And we won't go into details of what happens. But there's over 300 million golf balls lost in the USA alone. So can you imagine, like, worldwide?
Oh my goodness.
I think, you know, this is two young, very young kids who've said, right, one ball at a time, 20,000.
You just don't know how something's going to go. It's just about starting something, isn't it?
And I think it's also really just about committing that, you know, people say, oh, it's a nasty world, it's unfair, and, you know, what problem?
Do something.
Do something about it. Yeah. There's so much suffering, and I really would urge people to, you know, be the change that you wish to see in the world. Yeah. And this could be anything from, you know, disability, diversity, autism. There was a lady who's helping people recover from drugs. Leave your legacy in the world and do something. And just one person affects another, affects another, affects another. It could be, you know, the chemicals in makeup. It could be anything that you're frustrated or passionate about, and then that's how you can, you know, go forward and actually do something. So there was a wonderful company that I met recently, a lady called Renée Lalonde from iTalent Digital, and over in America, she's teaching girls to code because of the gender gap here. And if you think about all the internet and all the apps and the technology out there, the girls aren't being taught to code. So you've got all the men doing it. So that was her mission, and she really set up a company called the Girls Leadership Academy Meetup. So she's empowering the next generation of leaders.
That is so amazing. And I think, like you said, sometimes people think, well, I don't have the time to do this, but you don't have to do anything like, you don't have to do anything major like for it to take up all of your time, even if you're doing something each day. And I think another thing maybe, or what if it doesn't work? But at least you tried, at least you did something towards it. At least you'll have done something. And that makes you feel empowered. It makes you feel valued, no matter how small. Even if you think it's a silly idea. Can you imagine the people with the golf balls? Oh yeah, I'm going to go and pick up golf balls. They didn't know it would lead into this giant mission, and now they're taking it to every country. So it's incredible. Amazing. Chelsey, thank you so much.
It's my pleasure.
And I'm sure that's inspired many of our viewers today.
Thank you.
All right, everybody, so now it's time for my own tips on other ways that you can leave behind a great legacy. So let's get straight to the tips. My first one is to make a difference. Now, you don't have to do anything huge to fulfill this tip. There's things that you can make a difference with the people around you, your family, your friends, your work colleagues. So for example, being there for people, being affectionate with your family, doing your best, keeping your promises, being reliable, all of these things. You know, I think a lot of this is missing from the world nowadays. A lot of people are just out for themselves, and it's a very sad reality actually when we see how the world is going nowadays. So if you do those seemingly small things, that can make a big impact on people's lives that are close to you. The second one is to fulfill your dreams. So when you overcome, for example, the odds, when you maybe have been through a hard time and you fight through, you actually shine and you have experiences to share that can help others. So don't underestimate what the impact you can have on other people just by sharing your story. That could completely change someone's life. That could prompt someone to go and seek help for themselves. So even just, you know, fulfilling your dreams, making it to where you want to be and sharing that with others can have a huge impact. And the third one is to share. So share what you've learned with people as well, even your mistakes. So sometimes people are not so keen on sharing the things that have gone wrong in their life, but that also, people will remember that. And you can also mentor someone younger, for example. So maybe just take someone under your wing that's going through maybe the same thing that you once did. And I do that regularly when it comes to people that I meet that have depression. I normally will talk to them, I'll keep in touch with them. There's times when I'll sit down and have a really good conversation, because sometimes some of these people, they've never opened up to anybody about what they've been through in the past. So I make sure that I'm there. Obviously, I can't do it for many people because of time, but as many people as I can, I will take under my wing and help them to, to get past those things. And even though, it's maybe not a huge thing that you don't have much time to do that, but even if you take one young person and mentor them and help them and share your experiences, that is leaving a legacy. Well, everyone, we have reached the end of today's program, but if you have a story that you would like to share, or you have any comments about this episode or our past episodes, please do get in touch with us on our email on info@chrissybshow.tv. You can also tweet us at Chrissy B Show, or leave a message on our Facebook page, The Chrissy B Show. And if you'd like to know more about me and my past with mental health issues, you can visit my personal website, which is mylifeafterdepression.com. Until next time, goodbye for now.